Hello, mortals. How's it going? Welcome to a Sunday here at Sunday at the Hobby Collab. One of our Sigmar chats. Saray, how's it going?
You started the show off like a villain.
I
Hello,
know,
mortals.
mortals. Yeah, I know. It's been a lot going on. How are you? How are you doing?
It's good, all right. Listen, there's a lot going on. I'm in my evil phase right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Calling
definitely.
everyone mortals. I don't say stop, I say halt now.
Hot.
Oh,
Um.
thanks, Ty.
Oh
Starting the show
yeah,
off right.
I see
Happy
Ty.
Slaanesh Sunday, Ty.
Yeah. Oh, that means I can adjust the numbers here.
Hit the tracker. Anyway, while
Um,
you're doing that, today we're talking Slaanesh, which we need to be upfront with. Neither of us are super familiar with. This is, again, we've mentioned this is one of the armies we're going to start on the channel soon. I've actually got some models in a corner over there. It'll probably end up being one of my armies. Um, so I know a little bit. We both know a little bit, but I wouldn't say either of us are experts in this army.
I can honestly say that I have played against this army in 4th edition 0 times. In 3rd edition, I want to say twice,
Yeah.
I think. I started playing 3rd edition right pretty much when it kicked off. A little bit a year, almost maybe about 6 months into 3rd edition. So it's another one of those like yesterday's like Lumineth that just like I just don't see show up quite as often as you think it would.
Yeah.
Of all the god specific AOS armies, it's for sure the one I see the least for whatever reason. For whatever reason.
Yeah. Which is a shame because I think it's one of the best. Well, has some of the best models in AOS.
It's funny. We were just talking beforehand. It has because we're gonna be ranking here in a second, and so
Yeah, that's right.
it has some of the best models and some of the worst models. I think today we're mostly just looking at good ones.
Pretty good ones, yeah.
Yeah. So should we do
Speaking of
this?
which, we should do
Should we
that.
queue up the signs? Get
Hit it.
going. Okay. Um, we start with this thing.
Celeste.
So, yeah. Celeste
Celeste.
Esca, the Dark Alliance. What is this thing called? The full
Master
name.
Blaster.
Master Blaster. Okay. Right out the gate, how you feeling on this, Saray? Vengeful Lines.
You know, I don't know. I think you said it. Like it would maybe be cool if it was just two people on an equal field. It's a little weird having one on the neck, back.
I like him for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine him just like he is, just walking menacingly towards you with that blade, and I like that.
Yeah.
I almost like her as she is, but I want her on a base on the ground near him. They don't look excited to be working together, which is maybe okay. Maybe that's okay. But they look too
They're working. They're not friends. They try to keep it professional.
She's like, okay, his pose kind of checks out. For her to be where she is, she needs to be more like dynamic. She's kind of just standing like
He's definitely about to hit him in the face with those whips on accident.
right. I have okay, so like the High Gladiatrix model, she's got a whip.
Yeah.
She's doing like a hero pose. She's standing, the whip is going around her body. It's cool. It's fine. That she's not very dynamic for Daughters of Cain. There's I scratch built a second High Gladiatrix, and because I didn't do much, I just a head swap. But it's from a Underworld's kit, and she's like leaping over a rock with a whip, and it's super cool. I think with a whip, like a more dynamic pose is a little stronger. Like I'm looking at her, and I don't like. There's something about her on top of his stick that I just don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe better just on a scenic base, like a bigger base, having them separate would maybe be better. But
Yes.
we'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Okay. This is a.
Now there you go.
This is what is this called? A Painbringer.
Painbringer.
Yeah.
Now these are badass.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So as we're going through this, we were picking models to rank today. These are sick. I think these are like some of the coolest, like armored guy in armor.
Yeah.
know? Which there are lots of in Sigmar, but I think this is like one of the coolest.
Yeah, you like these a lot. Now, Ken, have you used? I think you just told me before chat. You've used bits, or you've used like large chunks of these for stuff in your Slaves to Darkness army.
Yeah, I have two chosen over here. One of them has this helmet actually exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, these are awesome.
Yeah.
They're on 32 mil, so they're a little bit smaller than I think people. You'd think they would be like chosen size. They're like somewhere between a Chaos Warrior and a chosen.
Yeah, I mean, so we've seen every faction, God specific, has like a warrior equivalent, Chaos Warrior equivalent, and this is thank you, Meg. Meg's bringing me stuff. Thank you. This is the Slaves to Darkness. Excuse me. This is the Slaanesh one.
Yeah.
And I think the Slaanesh one and the Tzeentch one are the coolest. Well, wait. There's no. Sorry, not the Tzeentch. The Tzeentch don't have one. There's a character they have.
Yeah.
Who's like. I forget. He's like the armored. Guy that they have that looks like if they make the Tzeentch ones finally, the Tzeentch Warriors, and they base it off of him, look cool. But yeah, this guy's the coolest. The Khorne ones don't do much for me, and Blight Kings are cool, but I feel like Blight Kings are just, I don't know, they're kind of messy. This guy's cool.
Yeah, I wonder. I actually wonder if they plan on doing that, or if they want to keep Chaos a little more separate. Like, I can see a world in which they have, Blight Kings are the 40 mil mortals, and then Tzeentch and Slaanesh, their mortal armored guys are more like on 32 mils. They're like the medium armor guys, and then Khorne is also kind of 32 and 40.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, this is sick. This is gonna rank high.
Okay, you also like this guy a lot. Another model we're going to talk about today, the Fiendblood.
Yeah, the Slangors. Every army should have their special god-marked beastmen gore. These are super cool. I love these. I love the stockings. They're also like large. They're like pretty big. They're not like standard like gore size. They're not, standard gores are like 28s.
Yeah.
These aren't 40.
I'm a little surprised. Little surprised, and we'll start here with our science.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised with the fetish gear influence going on these models.
You are? It's Slaanesh.
Well, I know, but GW's done a few things with Slaanesh and AOS. I think. Maybe for good reason, getting younger people into the game, modern sensibilities, especially in the US and the UK. I don't think your average Dane or German or French kid and parent are losing their shit over a little bit of sex in a miniature. But in the US and in the UK, it's and that whole Anglo world, we have a weird thing about it.
Too many damn Puritans.
Yeah, I'm going to exclude myself. I'm going to say they have a weird thing about it.
This is This is a terrible picture.
It is a bad picture.
A better picture.
No.
I can't even tell what's happening. I was like, this looks like a chaos spawn.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. So, my what I was saying though is like they've leaned more into hubris, the hunt for perfection, which is kind of also like Emperor's children in 40K have really nothing to do with sex. They really have taken that Space Marine chapter and said we're gonna lean really heavily into the element of hubris and the quest for perfection with Emperor's Children.
A little bit of sensation, but not like strictly sex.
Yeah, the sensation is in the form of like the noise marines who love these loud sensation enhanced weapons, right? Same with AOS. Like we've got Glutos, it's like leaning into excess, eating, gluttony in his case. Slaanesh is most of the 7 deadly sins. Khorne is like one of them. Nurgle's none of them really.
Nurgle's just like, listen, there was 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
They had to throw me in there. I'm famine. No, I'm plague.
Right. So I feel like they don't often, I guess was my point, sorry, they don't often lean into too many more sex forward elements in the line. Yeah. These guys actually weirdly are like where it shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got these thigh-high leather stockings. You've got the leather mask. I mean, that is quite...
Mask? Can I gimp mask?
That is very much a gimp mask.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you don't
I'm here for it.
You don't like this picture, and this is sort of a hard model for us to rank, in my opinion. Although my opinion doesn't matter. Science is what matters.
Science is what matters.
Scientifically speaking, you get a pack of... these are similar, like you're saying, to Spawn, in that you get a box... Yeah. And you can kind of make 3 crazy things here. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do these rank scientifically, though?
These are high for me. Okay. These are high. They're high for me and therefore for science.
Okay.
We can scroll up.
Yeah, let's get this here. We're at the bottom for now. We've ranked 60 miniatures, by the way.
Yes. If you want some better pictures, just go to the site and you're going to see why this ranks so highly.
Liam, I'm required to be one of those guys that says there's no such thing as assless chaps. All chaps are assless. Yeah. or I guess you could say there's only such thing as assless chaps.
Yeah.
They might have non-assless chaps nowadays. I don't know. All right. Is he in the top? Is he in the top 15? Is he in the top 10?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is
well, we now have this interesting Gargant peak here in 14 and 15. Is he cooler than a Wilderfiend? Because he's similar in a way. He's similar in a way to Wilderfiend. Is he cooler than a Wilderfiend?
Regardless of what happens today, I think this is going to be the coolest multi-unit kit that we have.
Okay.
Because everything right now is a single model.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. I think this is...
Wow, everything's a single model until Stalkers.
Yeah, I think this is and this is going to rank high. I think this is above King Broad. Right below Abraxia.
Okay, I'll take that. What are these called?
Slangor Fiendbloods.
Okay, that's pretty high.
Right.
We got a new top 10 friend. Okay, what about
not as strong
son and daughter? Don't ever talk to me or my daughter again.
I hope not.
Yeah.
We can scroll down a little bit. I think this has a lot of potential. I think what would have been cooler. Sorry, I got a very specific image in my head.
Yeah.
From The Simpsons, there's an episode where Martin is like prancing around Nelson.
Yes, that's
exactly what this should be.
Yes. All right, let's talk about other models that have a lot of potential, but we're like, not quite
make it. Keep going.
You know what I'm reminded of is a witch elf, and I was looking the other day. At my my Underworld's witch elves.
Yeah.
And I meant to show them to you before our game. And I was like, oh yeah, this is really where witch elves should go. They have like, the other cool thing about the witch elves, the Underworld's witch elves, is they have like a metal core set. At least one of them, I think both of them do. They have like this metal core set, which I think is both cooler, more practical, and quite frankly, sexier all at once on the witch elf than what the normal standard witch elf has on. And it's cool. It's like it has like little spikes on it. It's like you wouldn't want to like be something that tackles a witch elf because you would get shredded up. I'm looking at this. This is kind of like what you're talking about with the witch elf. It's like you look at the base model and you're like, there could be the poses are wrong. The poses are wrong, quite frankly. That's kind of what I'm saying is going on here. I think scientifically the pose is just not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy on the bottom is great.
The guy on the bottom's
And
great.
actually, the girl on top is also like pretty damn good.
She's pretty
It's just
good.
they just shouldn't be on top of each other.
I mean,
Uh,
if I played this army, I would put her on a 28.5
Yeah.
on a rock nearby, and I would say to my competitive opponent, she's a token. She's a pointless token.
Yeah.
We're only using him. I just hate the way it looks with her on top. Here she is off to the side. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna go right below Loon Smasher Fanatic. Yeah.
All right. There's some weird named models here in this army too. I need to.
Yes.
This
Good.
is okay. There's a lot. There's a lot of things going on here. There's
A lot of action. There's a lot of double vowels.
four letters with barely a vowel. I hate when people are like, "Why can be a vowel? You're a vowel or you're not a vowel." Come on.
Zach has spoken.
Yeah. If you get off the fence. You're a one team or the other. I you know what? We're just gonna leave Selesky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back matter was a person.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right.
By the way, Saray, can I just you're a super strong painter here. This is actually one of the sickest paint jobs you just casually see from the heavy metal team.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, let's bust out some crazy ass purple.
That right there, like that's like, I mean, a lot of the we don't often think of it, but a lot of the paint jobs on heavy metal are close to or gold and demon winning stuff. This is one of them. Like this paint job on this is sick.
That sheer purple, right?
The purple, his skin. Look at his skin on his face, and this is the metal is that's really good.
All right.
Did we do it?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
rank
we didn't.
that.
We didn't do this guy. Yeah, we didn't do this guy.
No, I think this is like Saurus. This is like Saurus territory.
Yeah. So fair to say, I guess we could say that this guy is close to what we would say is their battle line kind of thing.
Yeah.
I weirdly, I think you have to sort of give that to Blitzbarb archers, but this guy is like the armored elite thing in their army.
Really cool.
They're super
I think
cool.
these seriously like the best armored. They're better. I think these are better than any Stormcast. I think they're better than any Slaves to Darkness. Definitely better than anything from Khorne in terms of like guy in armor.
Oh, definitely. Khorne does not do guy in armor very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best competitor, the competitor really is, like I said, it's that one Zinch guy.
Yeah, Village.
And it's...
sorry, I think he's just called the Curseling now. He's not called Village.
The Curseling, yeah. It's the Curseling, and then, frankly, the Humble Chaos Warrior probably for me is like, is pretty up there. But this guy...
Chosen are really good. I think
Chosen are good.
But I think this is actually breaking into... Is it better than Saurus Warrior?
Oh, Saurus Warrior is so good.
It's really hard to say.
I mean, Saurus Warrior is just like...
I think it's right below.
Right below? Okay. Yeah. I think so too. They are called Painbringers, but they have a full name.
Painbringers.
It's like a...
Myrmidesh Painbringers.
What is Myrmidesh?
It's a fake Myrmidon. It's a legally distinct Myrmidon.
Wait, what is a Myrmidon?
Like a Greek warrior companion.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I think so. It's like someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was like Achilles' band.
Oh yeah, it seems like some sort of group that people would join. Paragons of the
Achilles
battlefield.
besties. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we did it. It hurt a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, even the coolest guy in armor is not as cool as a dinosaur.
It should hurt a little bit. It's Slaanesh.
Yeah. It hurt in a good way.
Let's chat the updates to this army from Scourge of Iran. Now, again, as Saray mentioned, we want to we're coming out of the gate strong, saying two things. One, I did a bunch of research. I think Saray did a bunch of research too. So we did do our research, but as far as on battlefield, as far as battlefield experience, Saray and I are more
Oh,
theoretical
it's all
currently.
theoretical.
Yeah, we again, this is one of 4 factions we can currently not field on the channel. Although I think by this time next year that will be a very different story. I don't like to give shorter time frames than that when it
I mean,
comes
I
to
already have some models. So.
yeah, yeah. We're headed in the right direction. Okay, now we get 2 new battle formations, and I was looking at their current battle formations, Saray, and I think there was at least one that was a control thing, didn't really stick out. There's one that is +1 to hit for mortals if they're damaged. I think that's probably pretty good. That makes most mortals hitting on 2s. And it's not combat attacks, so that means Bliss Barb archers. I think this army also has a few ways to hurt yourself, which means that I think you can like fairly easily get that +1 to hit, which is nice. The other battle formations, just real quick, that we're competing against is Demons rally with an extra die. I don't think demons are popular right now with Slaanesh. Demonettes are cheap, but they don't do much. And then finally we have Reckless Haste, the Secret Cavalcade. I think this is good if you want to do Seekers, if you want to do the cavalry stuff. They have a good one if you want to do all Slaanesh, Bliss Barb, Seekers, and like what's the other one? The Bliss Barb melee one. I forget what they're called. But if you want to do all cavalry, they have quite a good one because first of all it affects all cavalry, not just demons. So
Blade Seekers.
Yeah. And then basically it lets them retreat and charge and not take damage. So you get, which is like the number one thing cavalry want to have. Cavalry don't want to get stuck in combat. So if you like the Seeker stuff, then it's quite good. Is it just retreat and charge? Oh, unfortunately, it's not retreat and shoot. That's too bad for the shooting ones. Okay.
So let's talk about today's.
Yeah, what do we got?
All right. So the first one is Pretenders. So this is you in the deployment phase. You pick a friendly Hedonites Slaanesh hero that has an artifact, and you can give them a heroic trait.
A second heroic trait for the army. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically you can get a second heroic trait in the deployment phase, which means you can do a little bit of tailoring. It's good, I guess. We're gonna talk about the new heroic traits.
Yes.
And like the ones they have now are like decent.
They're okay. Yeah, they're
okay.
They're not bad at all. It's like 3 kind of like not bad ones.
Yeah. You are required to double up on a unit that already has an artifact. Not that that's probably not a big deal.
Probably not a big deal. It might work to your advantage. What I was going to say is I was looking through the Slaanesh heroes and kind of trying to figure out who's the hero you want things on, and that was actually kind of the challenge. Was
right.
Yeah.
Who's a not named character that you put this on?
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Invaders.
Yeah.
This is a passive.
This is for you.
Yeah. Prepare your homes.
Home invaders.
Add 1 to the rend characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Sybarite infantry. Sybarites are the human mortals.
The mortals for this.
I guess no, not humans. Just the mortals, because Fiendbloods are not human.
Right.
Sybarite infantry while they are wholly outside friendly territory. That's.
I think this one's pretty good. I know people get a little bit off put by in this territory or whatever. But this is wholly outside of friendly territory. Now, we have not seen the new battle plans yet, Saray. I don't think they've shown a single one. But the thing to remember is that it is not wholly in friendly territory. We just played a mission. Shifting Objectives has, of the 16 blocks that they divide the map into, your deployment zone or your territory is 3 in the corner. So if you have one of those things that's like, when you're in your own territory, you get this, Stormcast at this. It's like, well, cool, I'm playing this mission, it does almost nothing for me all game. Outside of friendly territory is a place that you need to go. when you play this game.
Yes, exactly. You're going there anyway.
So when you get Rend there, I think this one is pretty strong, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and on Painbringers, the infantry guys, having them go up to Ren 2, I think they can also go up to Ren 3 if they're on an objective. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a mech.
Yeah, they can, and they go to Ren 3 if it's on an objective you don't control, which is almost certainly going to be out in enemy territory
right,
anyway.
Right. Ren 3 is wild.
Outside of friendly territory
Ren
anyway.
3 is wild. You're forcing Varangard to spend a CP to get 5s.
Yeah.
Or they're getting 6s, and then the Varangard player will physically recoil. They'll
say, they'll crumple like...
Yeah, they're like into a singularity. This
the only thing is Sybrite infantry.
And
that's
melee.
the only thing that's kind of like making me... I mean, we just said it. The Painbringers are very good.
And melee. Because this would be too good if it was on... If this was on Blitzbarb Archers, this would be freaking bonkers. Yeah.
So, still good.
Yeah, I think that...
it forces your list a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's better than the Pretenders, which is also a band. Brass and Pocket. All right, here we go. Heroic traits. Now, keep in mind, with Pretenders, you can get a bonus one of these. I'm gonna do this thing I do super fast. Ready? Here are the current ones. I'll be fast. Sure. It's if an enemy unit is destroyed, the person who has this heroic trait gets a euphoric keyword for the rest of the turn. Euphoric means crit 2 hits, run and charge. The timing on this one's not great. This is what we currently have. We have this is one of those abilities that's like, is it good? Is it bad? It's when they charge. If the charge roll was an 8+, strike first. It's actually not a bad ability. It's just you cannot count on it at all.
Is it unmodified?
It's unmodified.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a Daughters of Cain faction that has this as their battle formation, and there's someone else has this too. Iron Jaws have it. Okay, yeah. It's so good, but it's so just like let's see what we get. The last one is add 1 to hit and wound rolls. If a unit is more than 6 inches from all other friendly units. The problem with that is there are good targets. James points out Keeper of Secrets. Keeper of Secrets doesn't really seem to buff anybody else. So you want this on somebody that doesn't buff anybody, like, because your whole army needs to get away from this one unit of yours so that you get +1 to hit and wound, and then it's sort of like, well, now I can't buff anything. So they're okay, but I think these 3 are mostly better. What do we have here, Saray?
Sure. So we've got hedonistic obsessions. So this is once per battle in your movement phase, and it also costs a CP.
Yeah.
This is Celebrity Warlord.
Yeah, I love the title.
Great title. Non-hero Sybarite unit that has been destroyed to be the target. Set up a replacement unit with half the number of models from the target unit, rounding up, wholly within 12 and more than 9 inches away. I mean, we see this in other armies.
Yeah. This is just
totally once per battle, though.
No. Well, okay. So Crethusa has this on her War Scroll. It's once per battle. It costs a CP. It's exactly the same. Deepkin just got this for Sharks. It's 1 CP. Nighthaunt have it. It's 1 CP. So we do see this show up, and this is a fairly standard version of it. I think if you're getting a second heroic trait, if you are Pretenders and you're taking a second heroic trait, this one is hard to pass up. Yeah.
Bring back a half a unit of reinforced Slick Blade Seekers, or the Blitzbarb Archers, quite frankly, I think are probably a good target for this. It's good. I don't know that it's your first go-to, though, is the issue. No.
Yeah.
But, not bad. Especially not if you're willing to take other traits, so. Or you're able to take a second trait.
Yeah.
All right, then we have Master of Temptation. This is an enemy hero phase, which is interesting. You can only use this ability if your opponent has any temptation dice. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of this unit to be the target. For the rest of the turn, while your opponent has not used any of their temptation dice to replace a roll for the target this turn, the target can only use core abilities.
It sounds
So
highly situational.
yes.
Your opponent. So, just a reminder of how temptation dice work. They're handed out at the start of the battle round. If your opponent, this is kind of nice because it means that if your opponent is going first, they definitely have temptation dice. They would have had to use all 3 in the hero phase, and they can't use them in the hero. I don't think there's anything they can use them for in the hero phase. So they will have temptation dice. If they know you have this and they're going second, they have the opportunity to dump off temptation dice. Temptation dice actually suck now for your opponent. I don't know if anybody's played against them. I've played against them in the old edition, and they were both times I played against them. I played Beastclaw Raiders, and both times my opponent offered me a 6 time and realized it was a horrible idea to do on a Stonehorn. So both times, like, it was a shit ability for my opponent. They learned quickly, like, oh, don't give this guy 6s. This is to just hit or wound with a Stonehorn attack is like, oh, yeah. no thanks. So now it does replace a 6, but your opponent has to roll a die, and a 1 or 2, it doesn't replace the 6 and does that much mortal damage instead.
Yeah.
So your opponent has the opportunity to burn them if they're going second during your turn, but they're not fun to use. They're really not good. They're desperation dice is what they should be called.
Yeah. I don't know. There's I can see this being interesting. It sucks that you can't do anything in the hero phase, right? Because you would do they would get to do all their hero phase stuff before you do.
Yes.
And then, but there are abilities like run and charge abilities that are on units war scrolls you wouldn't be able to do. I'm guessing teleport. There's probably some teleport abilities.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to do so.
No, you look at this and you're like, well, spell is a non-core ability. I can put this on Croak, but again, like you called out, Saray, they get to do all their stuff first, then you do this. So you're not actually affecting anything in the hero phase, which quite frankly is where a lot of non-core abilities live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, but, sorry, when does it last until? Rest of the turn.
Yeah.
See, if it was to the start of your next turn, then it's
turn, yeah.
extremely interesting double turn protection. Extremely interesting double turn protection. Yeah, then you're talking, right? You put this on Croak, and then
no spell.
You get double turned by Seraphon, and I don't think the Seraphon player takes it. They're like, well, I can't use Croak, so yeah.
Yeah. Or they have to use their temptation dice. Use them all up.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have the need for perfection. This is a passive. The first time, each turn that an unmodified charge roll, casting roll, unbinding roll, or banishment roll for a friendly, non-euphoric unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit is 5 or less, that unit has a euphoric keyword for the rest of the turn. So like a little consolation prize. If you roll shitty, you get euphoric, I guess. Right? That's what it says, I think.
Well, okay, no, I like this actually. I actually kind of like this because you're passing it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's like we don't see a lot of this. Like, I did bad, I still get something.
Yes.
That's very Slaanesh-y.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of
the last time you did something bad and got rewarded by Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't share. Please don't share.
Listen, if I were to play this army, I'd definitely take this because I roll like crap. So.
Yeah, you and boy Meg yesterday too.
Yeah, we would be euphoric. The whole army would be euphoric. We'd roll terrible the whole time.
Yeah,
so yeah, I like it. I don't know if it's a nice to have. I don't know if I'd build around.
Exactly.
I build around rolling crap. So
yeah. It's not a good way to enter your game, but it is.
He's like, listen, I know I'm doing terrible today.
Yeah. Here's kind of the other problem with it is Euphoric is great, but you're picking Euphoric at the start of the battle round. And when you
Yeah.
pick Euphoric, you're probably picking, I mean, like, under most circumstances, when I look and I see armies and I'm thinking Euphoric goes on 3 units of yours, most people probably only really have 3 things they want to put Euphoric on.
Right.
To get a free bonus 4th Euphoric, I think there's a high likelihood that when this unit fails the charge or fails a cast or whatever, you're looking around and you're going, okay, I guess these guys will be euphoric. And it's like, oh, okay. I guess this foot
Yeah.
hero will now be euphoric. Maybe I'll send him in. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
For me, I'm thinking you're looking at Celebrity Warlord is for sure. If you're pretenders, I don't see how Celebrity Warlord is not one you're not taking. If you're not pretenders, I'm looking at the 3 existing ones, and I'm thinking probably Strongest Alone is something you can build around, which is the +1 to hit and wound when you're outside of 6 of other Slaanesh models. Glory Hog and Into the Fray. Honestly, I'd probably take Into the Fray over
Okay.
not Celebrity Warlord, but over some of the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to Celeste. These new.
Yeah. Sorry, I would just say final thing I would mention though. Speaking of these heroic traits, yeah, Nighthaunt had the exact same thing as Celebrity Warlord, and it costs one, and it's pretty much the one everyone takes. So it is like, free 10 models. It's like, yeah, why not?
I'll take it.
Okay.
All right. So you read it.
Yeah, good content. This is great. What the?
All right,
Ty, clip it. Okay. Yeah. I checked. All right. You be current War Scroll guy. I'll be old War Scroll guy.
Okay. So from what I understand, the 5 up ward is new.
The 5 up ward is new.
I believe it was a 6 up ward before.
Correct.
Can you check the attacks? I think those are the same.
Yeah, wheel's the same, and actually all of the weapons are the same too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, wheel minus the 5.
Minus the 5 up ward. Yeah.
It used to be a 6 up ward. All right. Passive champions of the Gilded Throne. It's a lot of thrones in Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
When players are alternating picking units to use a fight ability when it is your turn to pick a unit, instead of picking one unit, you can pick a friendly non-hero Hedonites of Slaanesh demon unit wholly within 18 inches of this unit, and a friendly non-hero Sivrite unit wholly within 18 inches of this unit. Resolve the second fight ability immediately after the first. That's like, is that a double fight next?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty dang good.
It's pretty good.
You don't have to be in combat either.
It's pretty good. We were kind of saying, but you don't have to be in combat, but you might want to be, because we were kind of saying, we were looking through this army and not knowing the stat lines, and we were saying, I don't know where the damage comes from in this army, but this is where it comes from. It's good here, actually. So pretty decent on their own. And then to say, well, yeah, it comes from the fact that 3 units are going to fight before you go once. If all 3 of these are it's 18 inches too. Wholly within 18 inches. That's very generous.
No, it's not 3. It's because this is a passive. It's not when you choose this unit to fight. It's when you are choosing.
When you're choosing. Okay, still strong though.
Yeah.
In some ways, this is even better then, because since it's passive, you could do this more than once.
Yeah.
Every time you basically are Lumineth in this 18-inch bubble.
Yeah, screw you, buddy.
Yeah, very good.
I'm going twice.
Very good. Got to take a mixed force to really get use of it. But yeah, I like it.
I think it's really good. Then you have Wandering Minds. This is a spell, 6 up. Pick one visible friendly non-hero Sivrite infantry unit and up to one visible friendly non-hero Hedonites of Slaanesh. So this is only demonettes, I think. A demonette unit to be the target to make a casting spell of 2d6. If you picked a Sivrite target, subtract 1 from ward rolls for damage points inflicted by its combat attacks until the start of your next turn. If you pick a demon target, it has a ward of 5 up until the start of your next turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So-
guess. I'm gonna guess. Did they have like a beasts unit?
They have the fiends.
Fiends. Yeah,
But
and
that's
but
not
they're
infantry.
not. They're not infantry.
I think it's just demonettes. Unless maybe they're signaling that they're going to make a new demon infantry unit.
It's currently just demonettes. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, -1 to your ward and give me a ward of 5. I'll take it.
The problem is you're really probably not taking that many demonettes. That said, they're 100 points. If you now know you can give them a 5-up ward, 100 points, 5-up ward. They're only 1 health each, and they don't do a ton of damage. But they're actually not a bad screen at this point.
So it says up to 1, so that means you don't have to choose one.
You don't have to
So
choose one.
you could just give a Painbringer's unit -1 ward rolls
The current
against the target.
Right. The current spell that this unit has, it goes off on a 7, and it is wholly within 12. Enemy unit, not wholly within 12. Enemy unit within 12 can't use CP, which is good. It's close, so you're fighting. Although again, I think this unit kind of does want to get up and fight.
Yeah.
This is. Oh, they have one more thing though. Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing. So end of any turn, violent offerings. If any damage points were allocated to an enemy wizard or priest by this unit's combat attacks this turn and that enemy unit has been destroyed, add 1 to this unit's power level for the rest of the battle. This unit can be affected by this ability multiple times, and the effects are cumulative. That's fine.
It's quite fine. It's something your opponent would need to be a little bit careful of. Now, wizard hunting is sort of a bad idea, but where this is interesting is actually things like Bellicor who need to get into combat. I
would not go against Bellicor with this stat line.
No, of course. But if Bellicor is been withered down from Blitzbarb archers, who are an amazing unit to use against Bellicor, right? Because they're forcing something like 18, 16 4-up saves on him every turn.
That's
then he might be at less than half health by the time this guy shows up.
Yeah.
Bellicor, any kind of big wizard, any kind of wizard that also needs to fight, right? This is, I mean, Prince of Ordry. This is, only like off the top of my head, not a lot of armies separate their wizards and their warriors. Seraphon, right? But I mean, this is so many big wizard beat sticks. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think you do want to be careful. About the potential clapback.
Yes. You really need to know that you're doing that, or get lucky and catch a battle mage alone.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Catch a battle mage or Iron Jaws, weird priest, whatever they're called.
Now, Dicebat points out something great, which is that this unit under invaders, home invaders, can get the bonus rend here.
Yeah.
Non-euphoric. Oh no, sorry. It doesn't say non-hero. It doesn't say non-hero. So Acts of Domination, 3/3 rend 3/3 damage outside of your territory.
Pretty good.
Okay. Fiendbloods.
Fiendbloods.
Yeah.
One of the high-ranking model on our science chart today.
The big change here, stat line-wise, Saray, I can tell you, it's pretty limited. It's just that they got +1 charge damage. Otherwise, the wheel and the weapons are the same.
Yeah, I mean, 3 damage is decent. It's a 3 model unit, so 12 attacks, hitting on 4s. When you're on 3s, it's not crazy, but they're 150 points, so
they're 150 points.
Point model doing 3 damage.
They can be
okay.
And again, they're Cerebrites, so they can be rend 2 outside your territory.
Yeah. Which they most likely will be because of these new abilities.
Of what they do, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the deployment phase, Veiled Threat, pick this unit if it has not been deployed. Set this unit up in reserve, waiting in ambush. It has now been deployed. And then in any movement phase, Pick this unit if it is waiting in ambush. Set up this unit on the battlefield wholly within 9 inches of a battlefield edge and more than 9 inches away from all enemy units. Specifically good because you can do this in your enemy's phase.
Yes. Yes.
That'll mess your whole plans up.
Yep.
Go ahead and leave that objective. I'm going to pop up on it.
Yep.
It's good.
They also the other ability here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they deep strike, and then they have this cute thing, which is if you declare a command within 12 of them, they can move 3 inches.
Yeah. Every phase.
Any phase.
Once per phase.
Once per phase. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious about these. I think Fiends of Slaanesh. I think Hedonites of Slaanesh players will enjoy the idea of 300 points for 6 of these that can deep strike into your opponent's backfield and be like, "Hey, here I am." They're not that hard to kill. Is the problem?
No.
They don't have a ward, and they're 3 health with a 5 up. That's not that hard to kill.
No.
But
Anything with shooting is probably not going to care that you pop up in the backfield.
right. But 6 of them is a serious, fairly serious melee threat. On the charge, going to 3 damage, being Ren 2, I mean, they can go into some very hefty targets if your opponent doesn't deal with them, which again, that's sort of the problem, right?
Yeah.
They are glass cannon.
I think either, like you said, you either use them as an actual threat, or you just have 2 units of 3 just messing things up in the backfield. Because it says these are not once per phase. Like you can deploy both of these units.
Yeah, they're move 3 inch abilities once per phase, but that's
Yeah.
I see that ability as
Nice to have.
Honestly, in the current version of the game, where everyone's using alt attack and alt defense all the time, I see it more as a little bonus pile-in move. Essentially, it's because you're going to use it when they do alt defense or alt attack.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it for redeploy. It's kind of cute. You actually really discourage a redeploy because I pop up 9 inches from something I want to charge, and now it's your turn. If I do it in my phase, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to redeploy. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you make the charge easier for your opponent because after you move your 1 or 2 inches, their reaction is to move 3 inches closer to you. So, like, you can almost guarantee that you'll at least get that 9-inch charge attempt with these guys if they pop up and want to try something. I don't plan around that, but some people do.
I thought you're actually asking a good question, Dice Bat.
Yeah.
So it says you can move into combat. Can you move out of combat? It says you can move through combat ranges. Doesn't say you can leave combat with this, though. It's a good question.
My guess is it'll get FAQ'd, but my guess is that the answer until otherwise is yes.
Yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah.
But needs an FAQ.
Mm-hmm. They often specify what you can't do and don't specify what you can do. We do this because it's sort of a reaction against the Air Bud no rule that says the dog can't play basketball. We can't make rules for everything you can't do all the time. So we have to just sort of, hope that reason and logic win out at the end of the day.
So which is why if you check the rule book, it specifically says that dogs cannot play Warhammer.
Yeah, it does now say that. It says that it says that in every basketball rule book now too.
Yeah, now it says.
Well, they can play, but
like cats though.
They can play, but they can't be an official part of a roster. Is the issue. Okay. What do we think about? I mean, like, honestly, I like this unit a lot. I'm thinking of like any army I play, I would spend 300 points for a unit that is just like this. I think I would probably not do it I could see myself not doing it when I'm going to a competitive game, and I really want to do well, but I could see myself doing it when I'm going to a competitive game or competitive event, and I'm like, I want to have fun, and I think they're pretty good. That's like A tier, in other words. Like, I think they're kind of like this is kind of like an A tier concept. You pop out with this glass cannon threat, and it's got this cute utility trick. and your opponent is kind of like, well, I've either got to leave this area now or I've got to turn around and deal with this.
Well, good luck, because when you redeploy, they're just going to move 3 inches closer.
Right, exactly. But like again, think of it like this
Well,
showing
potentially.
it's Battlefield Edge, just showing up on the back edge. We were
Yeah.
watching John and Meg's game last night. Both of them left their backfield edges. They met in the middle in a diagonal line. You and I did the same thing in our game. So now suddenly imagine this showing up behind a Daughters of Cain army, or this showing up behind an Ironjaw's army. It's like
Yeah.
this is a problem. Like someone has to turn around and deal with this now. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think
Scary.
I think the first thing they do is show up and probably kill that backfield character that's the wizard or the priest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think we did it.
if you're a Fiends of Slaanesh fan,
Yeah.
a Hedonites of Slaanesh fan in chat, how do you rank this? I don't have a strong sense of how your army's doing currently. I looked at win stats and it seems fine. It seems like it's kind of in the middle, maybe a little above.
Sorry. I want to point out,
Yeah.
Nectoplasm actually just pointed out a reason why maybe you can't move out of combat. Because they declared all out attack. They're like, all right, peace. Oh, man.
Yeah, if they can do that,
That's insane.
that's quite strong, right? Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Way to use your CP, dumbass.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Okay. I don't know. Saray, you've looked at this army a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on this stuff?
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be starting this army because I like the way they look.
Mm-hmm.
And the rules are good. Rules are kind of a bonus as far as I'm concerned.
Good rules are a bonus.
The rules seem good. The rules seem decent.
Yeah.
That I would need practice with it. It's not my playstyle. I'm not used to glass cannons. But it looks fun.
Invader,
Especially like the new Slongors.
Dicebat play seems like you know this army a bit, and I agree. Not knowing the army as well as you, I agree. Invaders looks good. I would take Invaders on again. Invaders would be good on any faction out there. Nighthawk got this similar. If I keep you in combat, you get -1 to your save kind of thing. It is situational, but I think Rend is being handled carefully situationally as a stat by Matt Rose. You can kind of tell. Right. Everything sits at Ren 1. Ren 2 is really, you're starting to get very rare. So Invaders alone is pretty strong, I think. And then the Fiendblood just seems like it's a role that the army really didn't have a lot of deep striking. And so now that it's got these guys, I think this looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, and Invaders is especially appealing to me because I would be leaning way heavier on the Sybarite side. I like the Mortals of Chaos more than I like the Demons generally.
Yeah.
So that seems right up my alley.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. We're seeing more of the let's blend Demons and yeah, and also, Fonzie's pointing out, well, not exactly, but I think alluding to the fact that Celebrity Warlord would bring 3 Fiendbloods back, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because they are Cerebites. They look like they'd be demons, but they're not.
Yeah, because they're beastmen.
They're beastmen. Cool. I think we did it. Folks at home, we have another stream coming up in just a few minutes. I will be here. I will be sitting over in a chair where Saray is. Meg will be here. And we will be doing some hobbying. This is our hobby hangout stream. If you're in the stream, consider joining us for that one. It's kind of just a chill hobby hangout vibe. If you're hobbying at home, it's a great thing to have on the background. We're talking birds. Meg will be, actually I have them right in front of me. Meg will be painting her, I forget, terror wings.
Pterodons?
These are not pterodons. These are terror wings. Yesterday she played a game and was like 80 points under. Oh. And she was like, this sucks. And then she was like, oh, I don't have these guys, but I do have them primed. I just haven't painted them. And they're 70 points. So she was not appreciating that she got ripped off. I, meanwhile, will be assembling finally for the Stormcast army. Our friend Danny the Snitch.
Eerie Danny the Snitch.
Yeah, Eerie Danny the Snitch. And right after the stream. Give us Oh, say give us a. We'll usually start a little bit later on these Sundays, so give us maybe 15 minutes. We might start a little closer to 10, 15 a.m. Pacific time. Saray, did we do it?
We did.
Okay, folks at home, as we like to say, be kind to each other, yourselves. Always be creating. Bye, everybody.
Or